Hi guys, we are officially halfway through 2016, but before we plough ahead into the rest of our year, let's take a quick look at the very best movies released in Australian cinemas in the last 7 months. I'm not going to number the movies, I'll just list off as many films as I like and just hope the video doesn't get too long. Also, because I live in Australia, holdovers from last year like Room, Spotlight, The Hateful Eight and The Revenant count as 2016 movies, so they will be included. So let's start with my guilty pleasure for the year, Hardcore Henry, which might have a generic plot and the villain is pathetic, but guess what? I don't care, because I had an absolute blast watching this gleefully violent live-action video game. Intense, insane, and mind-blowing action sequences, jaw-dropping stunts, and a superb performance from Chateau Copley make Hardcore Henry one of the year's finest movies, despite its flaws. The Revenant. The Revenant is not the flawless masterpiece many tout it as. The pace does drag at points, the story is too simple to be stretched out over 2.5 hours, and the characters are pretty flat, despite great actors portraying them. However, The Revenant is a gorgeous looking movie with breathtaking cinematography, the action set pieces are brutal, intense, and bloody, the performances are terrific, despite the bland characters they're portraying, and the makeup effects, the blood, the gore, the injuries, everything in The Revenant looks amazing. It has problems, for sure, but not unlike Hardcore Henry, its pros far outweigh its cons. Hail Caesar! The Coen brothers' tribute to 1950s Hollywood, Hail Caesar, with its great dialogue and superb cast, is a must-see for fans of either the Coens or the golden age of Hollywood Hail Caesar celebrates. Green Room. Following a punk band being terrorised by bloodthirsty, sadistic neo-Nazis, Green Room is a heart-stopping, intense, gruesome experience with a strong cast and horrifying acts of violence, including dogs ripping people's throats out and people being cut open from the stomach with box cutters and heads getting blown off. Just really bloody gruesome stuff. However, you only really care for the survival of the characters out of basic human sympathy, because as characters, they're pretty bland and kinda dim. I mean, not only do they agree to play at a neo-Nazi skinhead bar, the first song they do is Nazi Punk's Fuck Off. I'm serious. But despite its problematic characters, Green Room is a shocking, disturbing thriller with good direction and a strong cast, including the late Anton Yelchin, and Green Room just reminds us what a wonderful talent we've tragically lost. Eye in the Sky. Eye in the Sky is a gripping and intense and thought-provoking thriller which offers an incredibly adult commentary on the ethics of drone warfare, with intense, riveting set pieces, sensational performances, especially from the late Alan Rickman, and the questions it raises will leave you as conflicted as the characters on screen. Krampus. Krampus is destined to become essential viewing every Christmas for any self-respecting horror fan, with wonderful practical effects, an effective atmosphere, palpable scares, endearing humour, creative camera work, a haunting yet strangely festive score by Douglas Pipes, and its themes and messages about consumerism and the importance of family are surprisingly heartfelt. Trumbo. This stirring and relevant biopic about screenwriter Dalton Trumbo and the countless other writers and actors who were jailed and blacklisted for their communist views, Trumbo gives us a tantalising glimpse into some of the worst human injustices in recent history, with a superb performance from Bryan Cranston. Hush. Mike Flanagan's Hush was an ingenious spin on the home invasion genre, with great characters and a gripping premise. What if someone who is deaf and mute had to fend off attacks from a serial killer? Let's hope he's given the reins to the Halloween franchise. Deadpool. With gory and bloody action, hilarious gags, great self-aware meta-humor, and strong performances, Deadpool is a ton of fun despite a rather generic story and villain.
Oh, I'm touching myself tonight.
The Jungle Book. Jon Favreau's retelling of The Jungle Book is an immensely enjoyable, involving, and visually stunning experience which updates the source material with deeper characters and deeper themes and messages about embracing who you truly are. With a superb cast, witty humour, and a breathtaking climax, The Jungle Book is a perfect example of Disney at its absolute finest.
I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life.
Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a sweet, charming, and heartfelt coming-of-age story about a young Irish immigrant looking to start a new life in Brooklyn in the 1950s with endearing and lovable characters, an endlessly engaging love story, and a very simple yet heartfelt narrative. Sing Street. Following a group of kids from Dublin who form a band, Sing Street is a genuinely heartfelt, funny, and charming tale about growing up through music with great characters, a striking and original soundtrack, and a truly compelling love story at its centre. The Hateful Eight. The Hateful Eight is Quentin Tarantino through and through, with gratuitous violence and gore, witty banter, and wonderfully deplorable behaviour, and I absolutely loved it.
You're starting to see pictures, ain't you?
Spotlight. Spotlight is a riveting and disturbing experience which dives into child molestation and cover-up within the Catholic Church with a superb ensemble cast, a tight sell script, and it handles its incredibly dark subject matter without ever compromising or holding back, making it often hard to watch. It's hard to believe that such a well-made, adult, mature, and emotionally compelling movie came to us from the same guy who in the same year gave us Adam Sandler in a comedic attempted rape scene. 10 Cloverfield Lane. 10 Cloverfield Lane was an intense, claustrophobic thriller with an unsettling atmosphere and an intelligent, twisted, and shocking screenplay, inspired music choices, and an unforgettable performance by John Goodman. Captain America Civil War. Civil War is the pinnacle of the superhero genre, with compelling character conflicts, exciting action, and fantastic performances, with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans giving their strongest performances to date. The Conjuring 2. The Conjuring 2's chilling atmosphere, wonderful cinematography, and haunting visuals make it a worthy sequel to one of the best horror movies of the 21st century so far. The characters are all immensely likeable, especially Ed and Lorraine Warren. They feel like a genuine loving couple and are an absolute joy to watch, and their scenes with the Enfield children are very sweet and moving. The supporting cast are fantastic too, especially Madison Wolfe, who's both sympathetic as a vulnerable child plagued by demons, then absolutely terrifying when she's possessed.
Janet's asleep, and I'm talking.
What is your name?
This is my home. Get out now.
The Conjuring 2 is a fiercely well-made, terrifying, yet also heartfelt and emotionally satisfying experience with likeable characters and good scares. Next up, the hauntingly intimate and complex Anomalisa, which tells the story of a depressed man crippled by his mundane life, which changes when he meets a truly unique woman. Anomalisa, with its engaging characters, flawless stop-motion animation, a wonderfully rich and multi-layered screenplay, and complex themes and messages about life, love, and the sameness of human beings, is one of the most profound, emotionally engaging, and compassionate character studies I've seen in a very, very long time. The Witch. The Witch was one of the most terrifying, unique, well-made, and original horror movies in recent memory that works well as both a horror movie and a time period drama about a family being torn apart by horrific events, with strong performances, a chilling atmosphere, an engrossing screenplay, and the whole production just feels unique. The Witch is a truly terrifying masterpiece indeed. Another terrifying masterpiece is the winner of this year's Oscar for Best Foreign Film, Son of Saul, which is the story of a man who's forced to burn the bodies of his own people in Auschwitz. Son of Saul is a brutal, grim, and unforgettable glimpse into the unspeakable horrors of the Holocaust without ever feeling exploitive. Thanks to its intimate, up-close camera work, you really feel like you're there, trapped in this terrifying, horrific environment, and there is no escape. Truly disturbing and moving, Son of Saul is a movie I will never forget. Let's lighten the mood now with Shane Black's tribute to 1970s noir buddy cop movies, The Nice Guys. That's terrific fun with the hilarious pairing of Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling, dialogue that sparkles with wit and intelligence, and I was in tears of laughter from start to finish. Zootopia. After teaching kids about rape survival, Disney brings us an incredibly mature examination of racism, sexism, governments using one nationality's fear of another nationality to gain support, drug usage, and so much more, and it takes those incredibly adult themes and messages and effortlessly makes them palatable for younger audiences without ever dumbing them down. Couple that with gorgeous animation and a fantastic voice cast, and Zootopia is yet another home run for Disney in 2016. Swiss Army Man. Swiss Army Man is a wonderfully unique, inventive, original, and deeply heartfelt look at what it means to be human, with mesmerizing performances, beautiful cinematography, charming humor, and it features one of the most entrancing, beautifully composed scores I've ever heard. Swiss Army Man is what you get when incredibly talented people are allowed to be as imaginative and creative as they wish without studio interference, and it is marvelous.
I don't know exactly what masturbation is or how it works, but I guess it probably feels a lot like the wind in your hair, or driving really fast in a car, taking a bite out of your favorite food, or dancing with your friends, or singing your favorite song, or riding the bus, or looking out of windows. And why would you ever say no to that?
And now on to number one. The greatest movie of 2016 so far is one of the most intense, riveting, terrifying, yet also heartfelt and life-affirming movies ever made. At number one is Room. This beautiful, moving, and emotionally captivating tale is about the boundless love between a mother and son who are being held captive in a garden shed which they call Room. In the hands of a lesser director, Room could have easily been this sleazy exploitation film which reveled in the pair's despair. And whilst yes, the early sequences of the mother's torment are truly disturbing and incredibly hard to watch, Room is not about what the pair does inside Room. It's about their story when they return to the outside world, which leads to a heartfelt and moving story about the boundless love between a mother and son, which turns one of the most bleak, grim, disturbing, and nail-bitingly tense movies in recent memory into one of the most beautiful, heartwarming, uplifting, and life-affirming movies ever made. The performances are beautiful, the direction is sleek, and Stephen Rennick's score is wonderfully understated, yet undeniably effective. Room is not just the best movie of the year so far, it's one of the best movies of the century so far.
There are so many things out here. And sometimes it's scary. But that's okay. Because it's still just you and me.